Okay, we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. So this is Dan from Ledger Support.
This is JJ from the marketing team.
Okay, so welcome, JJ. You're new to the program. Not really new, actually.
I'm Dan's intern today.
Yeah, exactly. So JJ is going to be here to help you guys. As usual, we are here for about an hour, give or take. So if you have any questions, you can just drop your questions in the chat, and me and JJ will go each question at a time. And yeah, if you have any questions about your Ledger products, if you're facing any issue, if you have a follow-up on the ticket, if you received a weird email, a weird NFT, just drop your question, and again, we'll just go sequentially, one question at a time. JJ, what do you do for Ledger? Just introduce yourself.
I basically help my team run social media for Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the posts that you guys see are coming from us, my team and I. And we also monitor the inboxes, so we see all the messages coming from you guys. And sometimes we refer them to our support colleagues, such as Dan. And then and a whole host of other stuff that you may see or you may not see that are probably not up for discussion here.
Perfect. So it's fair to say that we work in symbiosis.
Yes.
Support and marketing together. So guys, we are going to start the session. Please make sure to please give us a little feedback in the chat as well if you can hear us properly. The sound is good, the image is good. We just want to make sure that you guys have a good session and you can hear us properly. And I guess I can see quite a few questions in the chat, so maybe we'll start.
Let's get started. We'll start with Magnificent Charter. I received an email of a data breach. Is it legitimate?
Thank you for the question, Magnificent Charter. The answer is it is not legitimate. It is probably a phishing attack on you. It's a scam. So basically you get this email that might or might not look like one of our official email, but the email address is probably different. And if you click some of the links on the email, you're gonna end up on the phishing websites that will ask you for your 24 recovery phrase. So so it's probably a scam. What would you think, JJ?
I would think it's probably a scam. Just look at the email address. If it's not coming from @ledger.com, it's probably a phishing email. Even if it is from @ledger.com, we haven't sent out any communications regarding.
And you would know, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I would know, so.
And sometimes, it might look like it's from Ledger, but the L is actually a 1 or an I, a capital I. So it looks like it's Ledger, but when you copy paste the address and then you change the casing, you actually realize that it's not Ledger. It's like a different word that looks like Ledger. Do you have any tips for folks that want to keep the recovery phrase safe and not want to get scammed?
Well, never share it with anyone. Always just keep it in anywhere but yourself would be able to have access to, or the people you really, really trust.
Okay.
Never let it touch the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So don't take a picture of it, don't type it anywhere, don't type it in any website. Just don't share it, because anyone that gets access to recovery phrase will be able to access your accounts, even if they don't have access to the physical device. So this is, again, very, very important. If they have your recovery phrase, then they can access your accounts, even if they don't have the device. So be careful. So Magnificent Charter, you can safely delete the email. It's not from us, it's a scam.
Okay, next one. Rui Duta. I have a ledger with cryptos. Can I do a test restore to another wallet and check if seed phrase and passphrase is correct?
So the answer is yes, you can test your seed into another wallet, but so there is multiple ways you can do this. But first of all, do not type your seed into a software wallet. So if you have two Ledger devices or a different hardware wallet, then yes, you can try to type your phrase into that hardware wallet and see if you can. So if you have a second Ledger, for example, and see if you can access the same account. Same with the passphrase, so try that. But there is a better way that probably doesn't involve, having a second device. if you connect your Ledger device to Ledger Live, you go into the manager. Now it's called My Ledger, and you look for an app called Recovery Check. You download this onto your device, and you can use this app to verify if the recovery phrase on your card is the same as backed into your device. So again, it's called Recovery Check. That's the best way to verify if your recovery phrase is securely backed up. When it comes to passphrase, there is unfortunately you'll have to type your passphrase. You can set your passphrase as temporary and then connect that to Ledger Live and try to see if you can access the same accounts. Passphrases, there is no app to verify them because a passphrase can be absolutely anything. So I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, the most important takeaway here is probably don't put it into a software wallet. Otherwise, that set of seed phrase is probably gonna go to the bin after you transfer all the.
Yeah, can you explain why you should never type your recovery phrase into a software wallet?
It's similar to the principle that we just said with your 24 words, your seed phrase, right? Never let it touch the internet. And software wallets, they live on your computer, which is an internet-connected device. In itself, software wallet makers probably don't want to expose your seed phrases as well. But the problem is there are hackers that are able to have easier access to your computer than to have access to your ledger. And Ledger is designed to keep your private key and seed phrases safe.
Exactly. Because you never know who has access to your internet connected device, like phone or desktop. If there is malware on that device and that malware is looking for keystrokes, and if you hear typing your phrase into that device, the next thing you know, the attacker or the scammer behind the malware gets your recovery phrase and then they can drain your accounts. So that's the reason why you should never type your phrase, as JJ was saying.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next one. From Rohi Dutta again, is it possible that firmware update 2.2.2 extract the seed phrase from the Ledger device? I'm not talking about the intentions, I'm talking about the capability.
So to answer this question, I would say no, there is no extraction possible, because extraction would suggest that someone else would be able to actually grab your recovery phrase and pull it out of the device, and this is not how Recover works. So that should answer the question. Now, if you guys have any question, we talk about Recover a lot on those streams, but again, Recover is safe. You can update the firmware. Updating the firmware to version 2.2.1 or version 2.2.2 will not activate Recover. Recover is not even launched.
No, the product is still not live yet.
Still not live. So you can safely update the firmware. It's actually best practice to update the firmware, and then you can decide if you want to use Recover or not when it launches. But the firmware update by itself is safe and doesn't give anyone access, the capacity to extract your seed. It gives you the possibility to back up your seed if you want to, but this is actually technically very different from extracting something that will suggest that someone else has the possibility to do this. Again, if you use Recover, you are completely in control of this action if you want to back up the seed or not. And again, it's completely optional, so if you don't like the service, that's fine. But some of you guys might like it, and that's the reason why we launched the service, right? It's actually useful for people that...
Yeah, we found a lot of people lost their 24 words on the card due to many reasons. And then if they lost their Ledger device, then it's goodbye.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a service for maybe not for the most hardcore users of Ledger, but for people who are not really up to date with their operational security, and they would like a little bit of convenience plus easy peace of mind. Then Ledger Recovery is a service that they should consider.
Yeah, I think it's important. It's not for everyone, but if you don't trust yourself to secure your phrase yourself, or you want to back up, then you have this option to do it.
Yeah. The option is there. And at the end of the day, the consumer has the choice. So it's not something that we force anybody on.
We don't force anyone, and I think it's good to have the choice. But the choice, again, is always if you don't like it, you can just keep securing your assets the good old-fashioned way, which is recovery phrase.
The way that you've always been doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's actually good that we give people like more options, because we know for sure that recovery phrases are dangerous in the sense that they give you power, but also you need to secure them, and a lot of people lose them.
With great power comes great responsibilities. Sometimes people would not want to take that responsibility solely in their own hands.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think we can move on.
Yeah, okay. Leonardo Pio. Hi, did you figure out how much does it cost in bandwidth to claim rewards, stake, and vote in Tron staking?
Yes, I did. So when it comes to... First of all these operations will cost you bandwidth. I did not try stake, but I tried voting. And so voting for me costs... So I was voting 100 shares, and it cost me 366 bandwidth when I did it. And what I noticed is that the more shares, like the more votes you cast to the super validator, the more bandwidth will be used. So so it scales with the number of votes. Now, if you don't have enough bandwidth, so you get bandwidth in your Tron account every single day for free, right? The network will just give you bandwidth. And then you can use this bandwidth to transact. When you're out of bandwidth, then your account will automatically start using your TRX, like they will burn some TRX for bandwidth. But if you're just doing like if you're just casting votes and you're casting, I don't know how many votes you want to cast, but typically like you should have enough bandwidth to do this without burning some TRX. So I hope that answered the question, but yes, you need bandwidth to do it. No, you don't have to burn TRX. It depends on how much bandwidth you have, and the number of votes will probably increase the amount of bandwidth you need to do this operation with your Ledger device. Cool. So I hope that answered your question, Leo.
Okay. Papitas. Hi. When can I receive the Ledger stacks, which I have ordered, and it's been more than a year? First of all, it's not been over a year because we didn't announce it last year at this time. Second, Dan, go ahead.
So I think we just sent out emails to all of you guys that have pre-ordered the stacks, and again, we're sorry about these delays, but we just want to make sure that you guys get a great device. Again, now you should have got an email into your inbox. So make sure to double check your email inbox. It's the one that you used to pre-order the device. So go check that out, and everything will be explained there. If you have any questions, you can just keep posting them into the chat, but I would suggest just go have a check at your emails first. And again, guys, the stacks, it's taking longer than expected. I think that's fair to say. That being said, we just want to make sure that the product is good.
It's better to get it's better to get you guys a product that is great than a rushed one.
And you guys being disappointed, and
that we understand. Anyways, the next one from Sylvain. This is actually in French.
Oh,
so
I'll take that
I'll
one.
leave it for you.
So Sylvain, he says, on m'a volé ma clé Ledger avec mon code. Il y a une solution pour que je puisse récupérer mes fonds. Sylvain, non, il n'y a pas de solution pour récupérer le. Si par code tu veux dire les 24 mots de récupération, malheureusement c'est trop tard. La personne qui a les 24 mots va pouvoir accéder à tes fonds. Si les 24 mots ne sont pas en leur possession, c'est possible que tu peux acheter un nouveau Ledger et restaurer tes comptes sur le nouveau Ledger avec les 24 mots. Et ensuite, tu seras en sécurité. Mais s'il a les 24 mots, donc malheureusement, c'est probablement fini. Il a probablement accès au fond.
I think you need to explain to the rest of the audience.
Okay, so I think... sorry about that, guys. So Sylvain is asking... like I said, he got his ledger and his code stolen. So by code, I'm not really sure what you're saying, Sylvain. Like it could be your PIN codes, or it could be a 24-word recovery phrase. And he's asking, is there a way to retrieve the funds? And so my answer was, if someone got your ledger and your PIN code, then they can access your account.
Yeah.
Unless they completely botch the PIN code 3 times and the device resets, In this case, you would be lucky, then they wouldn't be able to have access to your accounts. If they have your recovery phrase, even if they don't have the device, then the funds are gone. Probably. If the thief knows what they're doing, then they can very easily. But if you still see the funds on your ledger and you still have the recovery phrase with you and you have a strong PIN, so 8 digits, very random on your ledger device, then you should be okay because the person will try to unlock your device, but after 3 wrong attempts, the device will reset and the private keys will be wiped. But you still have your recovery phrase, which is the most important. So you can get a new device and restore the recovery phrase into the new device. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Linwood Jones, hug. Thank you very much.
Hug back.
BRSS. Hi there. How are you? What if I lose my wallet? How can I get my funds? Easy. As long as you have your 24 words, then you can get a new ledger device, recover it into it. Nobody who doesn't have the access to the device PIN will be able to access your funds.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain that, like the fact that if you have the recovery phrase, then you can restore your funds, right, on any device, right, not just the one you purchased?
Yeah, because your ledger is essentially a keychain, and all your assets are actually stored on the blockchain. So what is stored inside of the ledger is actually the key to the assets on the blockchain. So if you lose your ledger, effectively you lost your your key chain, but you still have the original, like the mode for the key. So you can remake another key and access your funds.
Okay, so you can clone like your private keys as many times as you want with your recovery phrase in as many devices as you want.
Exactly.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay, next question.
Dave McFly. Hi guys, if I need to move my BTC from Ledger to Binance, I must write the memo tag or it is not necessary? Thanks.
Thanks, Dave, for the question. The answer is it depends which assets. So if you withdraw Bitcoin from Binance to your Ledger device, first of all, Bitcoin doesn't have a concept of memo tag, so you can just leave that field blank. So yeah, if Binance forces you to type something into this memo field, you can just type whatever you want, just like random numbers. It doesn't matter. As long as the network is correct, so the Bitcoin network, and the currency and the address is correct, and it's the address that Ledger Live gave you, then you're fine. You can just use that and you don't need a memo. So generally, any crypto assets, when you withdraw the funds from an exchange to your wallet, you don't need a memo. However, there are some assets that need a memo if you want to send from your Ledger device to an exchange. Those will include XRP, Stellar, Cosmos, Atom, what else? Those are Hedera as well, so HBAR as well. So those are the main ones. If you forget the memo, your funds will go into a common account that the exchange uses to pull everybody's funds, but they won't necessarily know that this is your funds, right? So if that happens and you forget the memo when sending to the exchange, then you need to contact customer support of that exchange to get the funds back. But again, if you're withdrawing funds from the exchange to your wallet, you don't need a memo, right? It's only the other way around, and not for Bitcoin, never for Bitcoin anyway.
Okay, BRSS, this is follow-up. I have a Ledger Nano X and I would like to leave my recovery words with my family in case I die. But if they don't have the device, how can they access my funds?
What do you think?
Well, they can get a ledger and then put the 24 words in there, as we explained a little bit earlier, right? Mm-hmm. So the 24 words can help you to recover your private key into your ledger, which can help them access the assets that's on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. Hope that's clear, BRSS. If it's still not clear, what do you recommend? Writing an email to our support team? Yeah,
so there is a link in the video description. It's a contact us link, support.ledger.com. That's the help center. You can open a ticket via the contact us button on the help center and type your query. But I think JJ explained it pretty well. All you need to have is the recovery phrase, and you can basically clone your private keys in as many devices as you want, right? So I'll show you just real quick, but if I've got two devices here with me, okay, and I've got, let's pretend this is my recovery phrase, right? I can type my recovery phrase into each device, and now I've got two devices that can access the same accounts. So if you give your family your 24 recovery phrase, then they can keep the phrase secure, and then they can get a device and then restore your funds on any new device. But be careful, because it means that they have this ability to do it anytime they want as well, and
do whatever they want with the funds.
And do whatever they want. And you don't know how well they will custody the phrase, right? So, maybe you give it to, I don't know, your uncle or your wife, but what if she loses the phrase? Then anyone that finds the phrase will be also able to access your accounts. So you want to make sure that, okay, you give someone access to the castle, basically, but you want to make sure that they custody the key well. Otherwise, that could be a security risk, right?
Make sure you actually know who you're giving the access to. Like family, I think you need to actually teach them how to use it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's added exposure of the security of your assets, really.
Would you do it yourself? Give your family
Yeah, I actually did, but that's after a lot of education.
Right.
Yeah. So it's something that you should take responsibility on.
Okay. Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah. Andrew, have you guys open sourced the code for the Ledger Recover program that is coming out, or has it already come out?
Yeah, we've started open sourcing the code. It's on GitHub. If you click the link in the video description to the support, to the help center, and you type recover in the help center, you'll find the FAQ. And there is a link to the GitHub with the code that we've open sourced. Now, it's just part of the code. We open sourcing gradually the code, but the goal is to open source everything with regard to recover. So yeah, you can check that out. And we also have a blog post coming out.
We have a few blog posts. Some already came out and some are coming out that are detailing the specifics of Ledger Recover.
And this week, maybe surprise, right? There will be a blog post coming out maybe this week.
Possibly. I cannot deny nor confirm.
So we'll see.
Didier Boulerie. How secure is it to stack with Kiln? What would be the real risks?
It's pretty secure. Kiln has been vetted as a partner by Ledger. Of course, like anything, so the first thing to know about staking with Kiln is you need 32 ETH. You also, when you stake, two keys are created. The withdrawal key, which is the most important, is kept within your Ledger device. So whenever you want to withdraw later you stake, then you can use that key to get the funds back into your accounts. So that's the most important. There is a second key, which is called the validation key, I think, that Kiln uses do a validation job on your part, but they can't do anything with it. They can't take possession of the account of the funds with that key. Only the withdrawal key can do it, and that key you keep in your Ledger device. Now, of course, anytime there is a third party involved, there is no absolute safety. Okay, so there is always smart contract risk, operational risk. So there's always life is never 100%. That being said, the reason why Kiln is in the Help Center in Ledger Live is because they have proven to be a very solid company when it comes to staking. So yeah, we're pretty confident that they'll be able to validate on your behalf safely.
Right. #peace. When can we order Ledger stacks? What is the release date?
We don't have a release date, right? It will be ready when it's ready.
It'll be ready when it's ready, and I think it's coming soon. We'll see.
Okay. What was the first question? Pre-order. So the pre-orders are closed right now because we want to first ship the first batch of pre-orders, like everyone that pre-ordered in the past.
But the order will open soon once we have a more detailed timeline.
Okay.
Yeah, so we will let you know once we know as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, once we have a date for folks, where can folks find updates about stacks?
We'll be updating. First, we'll be updating the customers who have already ordered, and then we'll gradually roll out via our other channels, emails, social media, all that.
Okay, so Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter, and yeah, Twitter, email.
Okay, email. Yeah. Okay.
Leonardo Pio. Oh, hello again. Another question about Tron staking. You have 600 free bandwidth per day. Let's say, for example, you had more than 600 total because you staked for bandwidth.
Mm-hmm.
If you use more than 600 bandwidth, will the extra bandwidth be restored the next day, or the maximum amount of bandwidth decreases until you stake more TRX for bandwidth?
That's an interesting question. So I don't know if the extra. I do think that whatever is left on one particular day carries over to the next day, so you keep accumulating bandwidth. But it's possible that the network does a quick check on how much bandwidth you've got left from the previous day, right? That was allocated for you for free, and then they will just like give you up to 600 per day, right? So for example, the first day you get 600, you use 200, you've got 400 left. Maybe the next day you get only 200, so you top out at 600 bandwidth. But it could also be the case that you get 600 bandwidth per day, whatever happens. Actually, I'm not sure how that works, but again, Leo, I will double check that. I think that's an interesting question. But realistically, 600, you should be good to do most of your staking operations, right? Because voting is not super costly, and even if you need like a little more bandwidth, you can burn just a little bit of TRX and you'll be fine. But yeah, I'll get back to you maybe tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow and I'll have the answer to your questions. And thank you for the great questions.
Steve Dibben. Hi, I have lots of airdrops. How do you tell if they're genuine, and how do you use them cash them in?
So they are most likely scam, Steve. So let me show you guys my Ledger Live here. Sorry, the device should be here. So Steve, if you are referring to vouchers that you got in your Polygon account, such as this 5 ETH, 3000 APE, those are all scams. They're all scams. And you can see like I got a lot of them. And the reason why is because it's very cheap to send scams on Polygon. The transactions are really, really cheap. So the way this works is those scams have those those scam NFTs, they have a link here. And the scammer is hoping that you will visit the link, and then they will ask you for your 24-word recovery phrase, or they will ask you to sign a transaction. They will, if you sign this transaction, then the attacker will have access to your Polygon account. So the best thing you should do if you got some of those scam NFTs is just to hide them into Ledger Live. So for now, there is no way to, I wouldn't recommend to move them, because if you move them, you'll sign a transaction with a smart contract that could be malicious, right? But you can just leave them in your account and hide them here in Ledger Live. And that's it. That's the only thing you have to do. The NFT cannot hurt you if it's just in your account. Just don't touch it.
Ala Miku. Hi, one question. In Ledger Stacks, is it possible to deposit ordinals and ordinal NFTs? It's even possible to interact with ordinals with a Ledger Nano, no?
Yeah, it is, yeah. You'll need to use, you can do it with Ledger Live, but it's not super optimized for ordinals. Yeah.
Yeah, but you just need a Taproot account to be able to do it, no?
You need a Taproot account. Basically, there is documentation on how to manage ordinals with Ledger Live, but it's basic, guys, because Ledger Live is not designed for ordinals. Like, I don't think you can see ordinals in Ledger Live.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, it's coming.
I can not say anything about it.
Okay. So currently, you can't see ordinals in Ledger Live. And you have to create a dedicated Taproot account to store them, to make sure that they don't get sent along with other funds. I would suggest use the Sparrow wallet with Ledger Live to manage your ordinals. It's a little more user-friendly, and there is documentation on the Help Center. There's a link in the video. Click the link, that's the Help Center, and then type ordinals, and then you'll find the documentation that we have.
Azaz Z. Hi guys. Why can't I swap for Miota?
Oh, it's just not supported right now. I think Mayora is it's an old blockchain now. I think it's back from 2017.
Might just not be supported.
Yeah, I think it's just not support. It's not even supporting Ledger Live. So if it's not supporting Ledger Live, aka you can't create an account with it in Ledger Live, which is the case for IOTA, then you will not be able to buy or swap or sell from that account. Yeah.
Furious Fox 3000. I think it's an early comment. You can be LOL. Still supporting from France though. Thank you for the support. Alamiku, and it's okay to update my ledger with firmware 2.2.1. I need to give you my phrase.
Oh no. You should never give your phrase to anyone, Ala. If someone is asking you for your phrase, it's not us. It's a scammer, and that person is trying to scam you. They might look like Ledger or Ledger support, but it's not us. So never give, share, type your phrase anywhere. It's just for you.
Yeah. Don't fall for this.
You see a lot of scams, right? From your perch as well, right?
Yeah.
What kind of scams do you see?
Well, most of the scams are like, you have a support questions, then email to this address. Go to this URL, and then essentially they're all asking for 24 words, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then a higher grade of scamming would be like they have a fake NFT, and then you sign a transaction, and then you didn't know, and then the smart contract drains your wallet.
Yep.
And so that's why you need to segregate your wallets. So you have a wallet just for things that you're not sure of, and then you have a wallet that stores all the assets that you are like you're hard earning essentially. Sports Berserk, how to store EWT on Ledger?
I'm pretty sure we have documentation in the Help Center Sports. Again, there is a video. There is a link in the video description. It just says contact us support.ledger.com. That's the Help Center. So go on the Help Center and just type EWT, and then you'll find the documentation that we have for that. Either it's supported in Ledger Live, so you can add your account with your Ledger device in Ledger Live, or it's not supported in Ledger Live, but there is an app for your Ledger device, and then you can use a third-party app like, I don't know, MetaMask or whatever is compatible to create your account. But I'm pretty sure we have documentation about that.
Lama Tangji, sorry I butchered that. How to buy a Ledger wallet in my country? My country is Bangladesh. Binance pays to possibly buy.
I think we might have. Do we have resellers, official resellers in Bangladesh?
I don't think we have a reseller there, but.
Okay. So JJ is gonna check like if there are resellers in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
For you, and we'll move to the next question, and then we'll get back to you. Sorry, I'm trying to.
There's no reseller in Bangladesh.
No resellers,
unfortunately.
So I mean, you can order from the official Ledger Amazon website. That's safe. You can also, if you live in Bangladesh, India has resellers. So if you're traveling to India, you can probably get a device over there.
And there is a page on Ledger support that details places where we cannot ship products to. And Bangladesh is not there, which means you can even order from ledger.com, and then we'll be able to ship to you.
There we go. So you've got two options here. You can order from the store, or you can get a reseller in neighboring India and then back into your country. It's up to you. Again, we have a list of official retailers on the website. What's the URL?
The URL would be
it's resellers dot
something like resellers.
Okay, Ledger reseller or something like that. But
yeah, it's ledger.com slash reseller.
Okay, here you go. Ledger.com/reseller.
Okay, Leonardo, did you also try my question about Polkadot pool staking? If you enable permissionless compound, someone compounds the rewards back in the pool, who pays the fees? You or the account that compounded?
So unfortunately, Pringle had the answer to that question because we split the work, and I think he told me last week when we talked about it that it is you that pays for the compounding. So this is like specific to staking within the pool, where it doesn't auto compound. Someone has to pay that fee, and that someone is you.
Papi Das, this is the reference number, and I didn't get any further mail, which you just mentioned for the stacks. That must be in an order for stacks.
That's an order, yeah.
As we explained, you check your spam email. Maybe sometimes the email communications might land there. But I think the communication went out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, all the emails were sent, right? Because they were sent in different batches, but you should have got the email. Just make sure it's the same email that's used for a pre-order. And yeah, as JJ said, like sometimes they get into the spam folder, or maybe you deleted it by mistake, you know, so just go back into the trash bin as well, see if it's not there. Do you know, like this email, is it from Ledger or from Katie from Ledger, or like is it?
I actually am not particularly sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's from us anyway. So just, look back.
Dwayne, I staked my ADA on my ledger, but it didn't get any rewards.
Yeah, so Dwayne, it's something that I've noticed as well on my account, but I am able, so I think there is a synchronization issue in Ledger Live when it comes to rewards, where that balance doesn't move. It's something that we are investigating, but however, in my case, I'm able to see the rewards by going to Ada Lite. So I connect my Ledger device to Ada Lite, and here I'm able to see like the rewards going up. But yes, so you might want to try this, right? You go on the Help Center, so there's a link in the description to the Help Center. You type Ada Lite, ADALITE, Ada Lite. You connect your Ledger device to it, and then you can check your rewards via the app. And let me know if that helps. And if it's a sync issue on Ledger Live, we'll investigate that. I'm gonna take notes because you're not the first person to mention that, so something is going on.
PRSS, I just want to know how access my funds without a device in case of an emergency.
Without a device?
This is the I think follow-up question to leaving it to the family.
Well, you will need a device. You will need a wallet, right, to access your funds. Yeah. So you have two options, right? Either a hardware wallet, which is recommended, or a software wallet on a phone or a computer. But the problem is you need to type your recovery phrase into the wallet, right? And if the wallet lives on a device that is connected to the internet, then there's a very high chance that might compromise the phrase, and someone might be able to sweep the funds. So the best thing you can do is to get a second Ledger device as a backup, or later, whoever is trying to access the account can get a Ledger device and your recovery phrase to access those, or like a different hardware wallet as well. It works on, Trezor, support Ledger recovery phrases as well, Cold Card and all that stuff.
Yeah, Laura Duran, tienen contenido on hablo Spanish. Is this Spanish?
Spanish, but neither of us speak Spanish.
No. Sorry.
Can you type your question in English? We'll try our best. Sorry, we don't have any Spanish speakers.
Didier, thank you, merci, no problem. Lama Tanjin, this is the Bangladeshi. How to buy a Ledger hardware wallet on the Ledger website, but only support card and payment. My country is Bangladesh, so please add Binance Pay. To buy Ledger hardware wallet or any crypto payment. We do have crypto payment methods. I think it's
Crypto.com.
Yeah, Crypto.com or via Bitcoin Pay. I think those two are the crypto payment methods. So when you're checking out, those two are options.
Okay, gotcha. So Bitcoin Pay
and Crypto.com.
Crypto.com Pay. Okay. We'll escalate your request about Binance Pay. Maybe that's something we can work on.
Yeah. Leo, Other question about Polkadot pool staking. When you compound the rewards, are the fees taken from the rewards? Oh, wait.
We answered that
Yeah,
question.
we answered.
Yeah.
Tech World, can I buy crypto from Jamaica on Ledger Live?
I believe you can, yes.
Haven't tried, but there should be a third-party provider that you can buy from. Give it a try. If not, let us write an email to support, because
Yeah.
we cannot simulate that we're in
Jamaica. No, we can't.
Yeah.
Go into the buy sell option here and try to compare providers and fill in your actually. So my ignorance is gonna show here, but I don't even know what you guys use. Like maybe US dollar, and it will also depend on the type of currency that you want to buy. See here, Jamaica is here, so you can definitely buy. At least Bitcoin, but more cryptocurrencies might be supported. It looks like you can use Visa or MasterCard. So
Perfect. Okay. Wensin, is it possible to create an additional passphrase to further protect the seed without entering them into the PC?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you should never. First of all, you should never enter the passphrase into a PC or the recovery phrase. Passphrases you can create as many as you want. Each passphrase will be attached to a recovery phrase. Okay, so you've got your recovery phrase, and you can attach multiple passphrases to that recovery phrase. Each different passphrase will open a unique set of secret accounts. And so then you can store your funds in whatever secret accounts that you want. We have documentation on passphrases in the Help Center, so hit the link in the video description here to the Help Center and then type passphrase to find the documentation that we have on that. That might be useful.
Ricardo Gill, let's say Ledger goes bankrupt. What happens to the crypto in it?
What do you think, JJ?
Well, nothing happens. First of all, the crypto is not in a ledger. Your crypto, as we explained, is on the blockchain. And secondly, if Ledger goes bankrupt, still nothing happens because the key is in either the Ledger device, or if you don't even trust the Ledger device, you can put it in any other hardware wallet or software wallet at your own risk and access your funds.
So we're not like an exchange, basically, where if the exchange goes bankrupt, then the funds go poof. With a ledger, you hold the private keys, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
most important.
Linwood Jones, this is a follow-up to the Polygon scam NFTs. Do all of these NFT airdrops take up any space on our Ledger device?
No, they don't. They don't take space on the Ledger device because they are not stored on the Ledger device. They are stored on the blockchain. So they take space in the blockchain, in the computer of all the people that are running nodes on Polygon, for example, but they don't take space in your device.
Gregory Davis answered, NFT is stored on the blockchain. Thank you very much,
There we
Gregory.
go.
Tim, I have an NFT sent to my Ledger for a 10 QNT voucher. How?
It's a scam. Hide it in Ledger Live. You right click on the NFT and you select hide. It's a scam, and the reason is like scammers will go on a blockchain explorer, and guys, that all addresses are public. Okay, they're all on blockchain explorers. As a scammer, you go on there, and then you can sample like 1,000 addresses, and you can send your scammy NFTs to all these addresses. So you're not being personally targeted. It's just that your address happens to be part of that batch of what was targeted by the scammer. But again, guys, I'll show you one more time. But if you got one of those scammy NFTs, first of all, it's safe to keep them in your wallet. You don't have to do anything. Please don't try to send them from your accounts or do anything with them. The only safe way to deal with that situation is to select the NFT. So for example, this guy here, and hide the NFT, and that's it. And then you can do it like for all the NFTs that you got. And there's a ton of them. It's actually pretty annoying. But yeah, for now, this is how you deal with the situation, guys. But again, those are scams. Nobody is giving you free money. This is unfortunately not the world we live in.
Leonardo, about my TRX question, I looked at my operation on TronScan and I saw that claiming rewards costed always 246 bandwidth, staking costed 250, and voting costed 329, so a total of 825. That's why I asked if the maximum bandwidth remains the same and each day you get 600 bandwidth until the max, or if the max decreases, or if you use more than 600.
No, so I think the cost will also depends on how much resource is available on the network. So the same exact staking operation or vote, the cost of that in bandwidth might vary as well one day to another. So yeah, so there might be days where it's cheaper to transact on the network. Like casting 100 vote will cost you like 350 vote bandwidth, but then a day that's quieter, it will only cost you like 200 bandwidth. So it's also nice to time your transaction to avoid, like, typically you want to avoid business hours, right? So 9 to 5 during US hours, that's when you want to avoid transacting. But early on a Saturday morning, at the weekend, that's probably a better time to vote, stake, and so on and so forth.
Okay, KK, hey guys, when is Ledger Stacks going to be shipped? Never?
Not never. We'll ship it. We just want to make sure that you'll get a good device, and we'll ship the device when it's good and ready, and you get your money worth. But yeah, you got an email probably in your inbox, so check that. It's all explained. JJ, you want to add something?
No, KK, just keep your eyes open. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, Tech World. Can I buy crypto? We answered this. From Jamaica. You can use Visa or MasterCard via Ledger Live.
And Leo, yeah, we'll be here tomorrow with Springe. So yeah, feel free to come back and we'll answer your question, mate.
Antonio, unable to install Ledger on Ubuntu with graphic interface. I think we need to install it in terminal, right?
You don't have to, but that's what I did, and that's how I made it work. There is documentation on the Help Center on how to do it. Just click the link in the description and type Ubuntu or Linux to find all the different steps. And yeah, there's quite a lot of things to do, so you need to be a little familiar with the terminal, but it's doable.
Leo, I can confirm. I also have the issue with Cardano staking Ledger Live where I can see the rewards. Then you're investigating on this. Right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah. But Leo, please try as well to hook your Ledger device to Adalite and check if you can see the rewards that are missing from Ledger Live. Because I think it's just a sync issue where it's just Ledger Live not able to see the rewards, but the rewards are in the wallet.
Antonio, when Weave will be available on Ledger Live?
Not anytime soon. There is a long-term roadmap to have as many projects in Ledger Live as possible, but Arweave for now and the foreseeable future will be a third-party. You'll have to use a third-party app.
Eric, I did a firmware update on my Ledger Nano X. I have a Nano S also on my Ledger Live. I had to unplug and replug it in. Now it's showing some of my crypto are now on the Ledger Nano S. I think the question is on the same Ledger Ledger Live. Mm-hmm. Does it segregate the assets with the keys from the keys that are stored in different devices?
No. I mean, like Ledger Live you can connect as many devices as you want in Ledger Live, and it will just let you add as many accounts as you want. It's up to you to make sure to label your accounts accordingly, so you know if it's your Nano X or your Nano S device that's storing the accounts. So you can actually do this in Ledger Live here. You would, for example, this account, you would right-click, edit, and then you can call this one Nano S, for example, so you know it's controlled by the Nano S. Yeah, so I hope that answered the question.
Jose, any update on the lady who lost all her XRPs on Ledger? Was she refunded?
I haven't had any updates. I think we're still working with her. And yeah, I actually don't know. But you know, guys, typically in those situations, once the funds are gone because the recovery phrase was shed, it's very difficult to get the funds back. The police needs to get involved, and you need to be very, very lucky, because the only hope is that the scammers will send the funds to an exchange, and then the police can compel the exchange to freeze the funds and return them back to you. It's a very long process, and you need committed police to take this whole process to fruition. And so I don't know about this lady, what happened to her. I hope she got her funds back, but not sure.
Gary Dominiguez, good morning. We're trying to send XDC to our Ledger Nano X or Live. Can you do a tutorial on how to do that? Thanks.
Gary, there is a documentation on how to do this in the Help Center. So there is a link in the video description. Hit the link. That's the Help Center. In the Help Center, you just type XDC. You'll find documentation that will teach you how to create a XDC account with your Ledger device. Now, Ledger Live, the app, doesn't support XDC, meaning that you will need to use a third-party wallet called XDC Beta, I think, with your Ledger device to create the account and manage it. But don't worry, it's just as safe as using Ledger Live with your Ledger device, because the private keys are in the device, not in XDC Beta wallet.
Andreas, salut. I staked ETH through Lido on Ledger Live and want to know if it's possible to restake the rewards automatically in order to take profit from the compound interest. Is this possible?
It's already the case. The rewards are already compounding. And by the way, you can, if you go in Ledger Live and you go into the Discover section, Lido, here, you go to the reward, you go to the rewards section, you'll see your rewards, and this amount, like your STETH balance, will go up like a little bit every single day, and the balance, like the rewards, auto compound on your account. So yeah.
There you have it. Leo, question about Cosmo Atom staking. When you compound rewards in Ledger Live, are the fees paid from the rewards or from the available balance? The balance not staked.
The available balance, always the available balance. That's why you guys should always leave a little bit of coins in the available balance, so you don't run into situations where you can't claim the rewards or do transactions. It's also true for any blockchain, right? So Solana, you need some coins, Polkadot, Cosmos, Cielo, like all those blockchains, like make sure you've got a little bit of coins in the available balance unstaked.
Leo had a follow-up. I just checked and I actually don't see rewards in Ether Lite either. I staked in on the 28th though, so I don't know if I should have some rewards or it's too early.
28th was 6 days ago. Yeah, you should have had the rewards, honestly. It usually takes up to 5 days, unless there was some issue with the Cardano network, where, typically like there was like this stopped block production for a while, or there was some other networking issue. But thanks for checking, Leo. We'll definitely escalate that because there might be an issue. Yeah.
Winston, when will there be more functions and websites for Ledger extension and chains other than ETH and Windows? You're doing a great job. Thank you. More functions and website for Ledger extension and chains.
We'll escalate the comments, but keep an eye on it. Yeah.
Okay. Ledger extension. Stay tuned. This is something that's being worked on. So once we have information, you'll know. Antonio. By the way, nice tattoo, bro. I like it.
Well, thank you.
Can I send my NFT ADA to Ledger Live?
Yeah, you can. So you're not sending it to Ledger Live. You're sending it to your Ledger accounts that you can see in Ledger Live. But the thing is, you won't be able to see your Cardano NFT in Ledger Live. So they can live in your account, but you won't be able to see them because Ledger Live cannot detect them. But instead, what you can do is connecting your Ledger device to something like Nami, which is a third-party wallet, and then you'll be able to see the NFTs in your account. But the address, the Cardano address that Ledger Live is giving you, is perfectly good to receive Cardano NFTs. It's just that you won't be able to see them in Ledger Live, if that makes sense.
Okay, Dovla how much different crypto can I hold on Ledger Nano S Plus?
As many as you want. You just need the app installed and the account created. If we support the app on the device, then therefore you can create an account. Maybe it's supported in Ledger Live. Maybe you have to use a third-party wallet, but yeah, you'll be able to create an account.
It's also, crypto is not held on your ledger. It's held on the blockchain.
Correct. What's held what is in the Ledger device, actually?
It's your private key.
The private keys.
Yes. Eric, this is following up with the Nano X and Nano S. I had it labeled on Ledger Nano X and Ledger Nano S. I still have my crypto, but now the crypto I had on my Ledger Nano X is showing up on my Ledger Nano S.
Okay, so I know what's going on. I think when you did the firmware updates, the device probably reset back to factory settings, which means that the private keys were wiped. And what you did is you probably restore your Nano X private keys into your Nano S or the other way around. And now you've got the Nano X private keys in both the Nano X and Nano S, and that's why they will give you access to the same accounts. What you should do instead is make sure that the Nano X has the Nano X recovery phrase, the Nano S has the Nano S recovery phrase, because those accounts are secured by 2 different recovery phrases. If the issue continues, then feel free to open a ticket. There is a link in the video description. Hit that, click the contact us button, and just send us an email, and we can take a look at that. But if you have 2 recovery phrases, that's the answer.
Eric said on the firmware update on Nano X, it had been like 30 minutes and wasn't doing it. So I unplugged the Nano X and plugged it back in. Then Nano X started updating.
I think it's probably that's what happened.
Okay.
One last question, guys.
Yeah, is the rewards on Cardano staking on Ledger auto compounding?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Leo, can you connect your Ledger Nano X to MetaMask or Trust Wallet on mobile?
No, you
Mobile,
can't. No.
Umerson, Prof. Hello, can you explain some of the advantages of Ledger over Trezor?
Oh, easy. I mean, Trezor has a good product, but what I think is like Ledger has way more integrations into all the different ecosystem, right? So like every crypto project out there has a integration with Ledger. Ledger has never been hacked, to be honest, right? So unfortunately, I think Trezor, the Model 1, right?
Trezor Model 1 was hacked.
3
years ago, and I've actually witnessed the hack of, like, we have an attack lab called the Donjon, and we did a hack of the Model T within half a second.
Oh, wow.
So if your Trezor device is compromised by anybody but you, good luck.
Okay. So Ledger more secure. No one has ever managed to go into Ledger. I would say we've got better customer service as well, because we're doing those lives and we have a whole team. So this is part of what you get as well when you get into the Ledger community, I guess. Yeah. You get also like daily support on YouTube, and we've got more session coming. And and the design, I think the design is also better. Like it looks, Ledger devices look sexier, I think.
Yeah, Trezor is just not designed for holding. It's a little bit weird. It's like, that. Do we have...
The last question.
Okay. Where did you say we can disallow a connection to accounts within Ledger? You covered it a few lives ago.
I'm not sure, Linwood. It depends what you mean by disallow. You might want to... maybe you're mentioning revoke.cache, which is how you would revoke permissions to your accounts if you've been signing sketchy transactions with your Ledger device. If that's what you means by... What do you think? I'm not sure I understand the question, actually.
There's a lot of interpretations. Linwood, I think the best way is to send an email to our support team, see what they can help you with this specific case, I guess.
link in the description to go
Yeah.
to the help center.
About Cardano staking issue, I searched it and it seems each epoch are paid the rewards for 2 epochs later. So 2 September 2nd, were paid the rewards for epoch 432 10 days earlier. So maybe we wait.
Yeah, maybe we wait.
Yeah.
Let's wait a few more days and see what happens. I was under the impression that rewards are paid every 5 epochs, but maybe there is more than that to it. Anyway, guys, we have to go.
Thanks everybody for sticking around and thanks for the questions.
And thank you, JJ, for
problem.
coming today. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Tomorrow same time, 4:30 p.m. CET Paris time. So if you like the video, just like and subscribe and share it with other Ledger users that might need support. We'll be back tomorrow with Printful. And thank you guys. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Don't get scammed. Again, vouchers are scams. Emails, those sync emails, data breach, they're scams. Never share your 24 recovery phrase.